Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cassie and this is That Grim Reader. In today's video we're going to be doing a little mini book unhaul, and then I'm going to go around some relatively local little free libraries and donate them, and maybe, like, the goal of this isn't to get more books, but if I see anything that I'm super excited about, I'm obviously going to grab it. If you don't know what a little free library is, it's these little like cute boxes that people put outside their house or like a village hall or whatever, for people to drop off books that they no longer want and take books that interest them. It's really cute. It's great. I would like to have my own, but I don't know, maybe someday. There's about 10 to 15 books that I'm unhauling. It's not a huge unhaul. I sold most of what I didn't want before I moved house, but these are the stragglers that somehow managed to stay through that process. So first we have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This wasn't bad, but I do own 2 copies of it for some reason, so obviously I'm going to unhaul one of them. We follow a boy who grows up in a graveyard surrounded by ghosts, basically. I'm not going to give a full rundown of the synopsis of everything because these are books that I'm unhauling. Like, I'm not necessarily advising you to read them, but yeah, it's a well-known, well-loved book. I thought it was fine. I think I gave it like 3 stars. I will be keeping my other copy, but this one can go to someone who will appreciate it more. Then, for some reason, I have 2 copies of In a Dark, Dark Wood, and I'm getting rid of both of them because this book sucked. It was terrible, it was boring, it was generic, no redeeming factors. I can't even remember. All I remember is the feeling this book gave me, and it was just nothing. Emptiness. It wasn't even good enough that I could be mad about it. It was nothing. So, don't recommend. But there's going to be 2 copies floating around in Yorkshire somewhere if you're really interested. Then Vampires Never Get Old, Tales with Fresh Bite. This is a short story collection. YA short stories about vampires. None of them stood out to me. They were fine, but I'm not the target audience, so take my thoughts on this with a pinch of salt. Do really like the cover though, that's pretty cool. Boy, it's super cheap in the charity shop, so I'm not mad about it, but I will be passing it on to someone else. Then we have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. It's the first in a series, a YA murder mystery kind of thing. A girl goes to a fancy academy and tries to, I don't know, solve a murder, solve a riddle. She's solving something, I don't remember anymore. I remember having a good time with it. I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars. Again, I'm not the target audience, but it was good. So then we have Time After Time by Louise Pentland. This was a waste of my time, but I was on holiday when I read it and wanted something mindless, and that's what I got. We follow a girl who finds like a magic ring that lets her time travel back to the 80s. And she, finds herself, realises her purpose in life or whatever. It's fine. If you're into that, you might enjoy it. There weren't enough 80s vibes for my liking. That was what drew me to this in the first place, but it was okay. Then we have Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam. We follow a family who go stay in like a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and then the world starts ending, I believe. The couple that own the house show up in the middle of the night saying, that the world's ending, but we need to stay with you, please help. And it's just navigating all of that, but it's weird. It's told in a weird way. It didn't really work for me. There's a lot of like unnecessary sexual content. Like, it's not sex scenes or anything, it's just a guy enjoying himself. Like, I feel like it was in excruciating detail, but I may be misremembering that, so I don't know. I do want to watch the film though that's been made of this, the adaptation, because I like the general story. It's just the way that it was told didn't work for me. I don't know why it didn't work, but it didn't. Then we have Her Pretty Face by Robin Harding. It's just a generic sort of domestic thriller. A woman with a troubled son befriends another woman with a kid the same age, and it's about their like toxic friendship, kind of. It was fine. I don't remember much about it. It's been a while since I read it, and we all know that my memory is the worst. So yeah, I think it was alright. Perfect for fans of Big Little Lies. I've not read that, so I cannot vouch for that, but sure. Then we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I know everyone loves this book, but I found it boring. We follow a group of travelling performers in a post-apocalyptic world. I didn't care. I think we saw a little bit of as the world was collapsing, which interested me more, but I just wasn't interested. It was a slog to get through it, but like I say, every other person on earth appears to have loved this, so go track it down, see if you can find it. Enjoy. Then we have The Last Girl by Goldie Moldavsky. This was fun. I enjoyed this. It's a YA. Does someone die? Yes. Okay, so it's a group, I remember now. It's a group of friends, these like horror film geeks. They call like the Mary Shelley Club. I think the book is called the Mary Shelley Club. I think the book is called the Mary Shelley Club in America or just other countries, which is a way better name than The Last Girl. Could you be more generic? Anyway, each of these kids takes it in turn to set up sort of a scenario to scare someone that's like irritated them in their lives or wronged them or whatever. And it was interesting. It was really good. I enjoyed the premise of this. I don't remember the ending or anything because, well, you know why. But yeah, it was really good. I don't know why I'm getting rid of it really, but I'm not going to read it again. I don't have anyone in my life that I'm going to necessarily recommend it to. I think my one bookish friend has already borrowed this and read it. Maybe. But yeah, it was really good, but I don't need to own it. Then we have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. Everyone loves this guy, or at least some of his books, but they just don't seem to work for me. This one was alright. I enjoyed like the twists and turns. It's basically strangers on a train, but in an airport. Like two strangers meet up in a hotel bar, an airport bar. Both of them want to kill their significant others, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll kill your husband, you kill my wife. Cool, let's do it." And but there's a lot more to it, and it was alright. It was good, but I don't know. It was maybe too twisty. I don't say that often, but it just, I don't know. The twist didn't really work for me. But it was a good premise. I will read another retelling of this story at some point and hopefully enjoy it more. But it was good. Then we have The Couple at Number 9 by Claire Douglas. Couple moves into this house, finds some dead people, and wants to know why there's dead people in the house. Like skeletons, long time dead people. It was okay. I couldn't tell you anything else about it. It's the most generic plot you've ever heard. Then we have The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner, set in a women's prison, and I have forgotten every single thing about this book. I gave it 2 stars. I can't remember the characters, can't remember the plot, can't remember the point. It's probably a commentary on like the prison system, I would assume, but I don't remember. And I didn't care about anything that happened, I don't think. I can't remember caring anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to recommend this to anyone, not going to pass it on to anyone, just going to go donate it, and if anyone wants to read it, they can, and hopefully won't be as disappointed as I was. Finally, we have Just My Luck by Adele Parks. This is about a woman who wins the lottery and then, well, I think her and her husband, maybe, were in a syndicate, and then everyone, I could be misremembering this, everyone else, the week before they win the lottery, decided they were dropping out, they didn't want to be part of this syndicate anymore, and then the numbers won, and it's a, should they get to have part of the money they paid for however many years, but they didn't pay this, like, I don't know. So yeah, it was interesting, but like I liked the premise. I don't think I cared that much about the characters or the story itself, but it was alright. I just definitely won't read this again. And again, my one bookish friend that I lend books to has already borrowed it and read it, so it can go. Someone else can enjoy it. That's it. I don't know how many little free libraries I'm going to get to. I've got to drive a little way to get to any of them. There's none really local to me. But if I drive about 20 minutes, there's a group of 3 together. And then so I'll be doing between 3 and 8. One of the ones that I know, though, is literally around the corner from my ex's house, so that could be a bad idea. Don't need to be bumping into him today, but we might risk it. We'll see. We'll see how. That'll be one of the last ones on my stop if I do go there, so hopefully I'll have found room to donate everything before then, or I'll have found some good books that I want, or just something interesting to show. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm filming this before I've done anything. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a mystery. But yeah, let's go out. It's a bit of a dreary day, but it's dry so far, so I'm happy. Let's do it. Let's get cracking. So we've done the first 4 stops now. The first one, it was very brief because it was like in someone's garden and the person was pottering around on the drive like while I was looking, so didn't want to be in that situation for much longer. The second one you will have seen was just devoid of books. It didn't even have a door, but I left a couple in there just in case, you never know. I left the ones that I hated the most. The bus just nearly crashed into me. That's fun. The third one wasn't even on the list or the map. That was not supposed to be there. That was a little added bonus, so that was good. And we've just done the 4th one, which is in the most, well, not secluded, but everything's been on like really narrow roads and it's been super busy. Everyone's out walking their dogs. It's Sunday morning and I just didn't need to be filming me talking to myself in that situation. There's only 3 books left to donate, so we're going to head on to the next place. Someone's walking past my car. 3 left, so we're going to head on to the next location. I think there's 2 in quite close proximity, so I'm going to do those 2. And then that's it because I'm starving. I need some breakfast. And yeah. So far I've only picked up 2 books for my child, 0 books for me, but I mean the goal isn't to pick up books, so I guess that's a good thing. But also, do you like my my Twister air freshener? It doesn't smell anymore, I just like the look of it. Anyway, hopefully we'll have a bit more luck in the next couple of locations, but either way I'll see you when I get home and we'll have a little chat. one was quite cute. It was in a little park, technically. I think calling it a park is a bit of a stretch. It was just a tiny patch of grass with a couple of benches and a little free library, but it was cute and it was really big. I was quite impressed. I have actually got a book from that one. You can pause the video and guess which one I picked because I showed every book quite clearly, I think. I don't think you'll get it, but yeah. I only left one book there because where I've parked isn't actually exactly where the park is, so I had to walk around there and I didn't want to walk around carrying a load of books like a nutter. So we've got 2 books left to donate at the final location. I've never been to this one before, or the one that we're at now, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Also sorry if this is a very jiggly video, I've just realised that I've left my engine running this time, but I'll be fine, don't worry about it. Let's go. Hi, I am back from my little adventure. I had a fun little couple of hours. It was a little bit stressful. There were so many people out. Again, Sunday morning, people like want to go out and experience the world, I guess, when it's not miserable, but they could have done it away from me. That would have been nice. You should have seen footage of the second little free library where there were no books and the doors had been taken off. I don't know if it's in use or not, but I left some books anyway. There was a guy walking a dog, came up to me and was like, oh God, I can't believe someone took all of them. What's the world coming to? And, you know, all that kind of British polite chit chat kind of thing. So that was a thing. Yeah, it was successful. I think we went to 6. I think we did 6. All the books are gone, which was the purpose of this endeavour. So success there. In terms of pickups, there's not too many. That last, you'll have seen a little bit of footage of that last. I can't even words, no. The chaos in that final little free library caused me so much pain. I tidied it up a little bit because shortly after I stopped filming, most of the books fell out, which was traumatic because it was on someone's it was on sort of the driveway up to a little fancy looking estate. So I was like, I do not belong here. This is ridiculous. Which is also why I barely filmed. But yeah, I'm not used to filming out in public. I find it mortifying. But anyway, picked a few books, nothing too exciting. I got 3 for the small child, 1 for the teenager / me, and another one that is for me, but the teenager could probably read if she wanted to and if she cared about books, which she does not. But we still surround ourselves by books just in case. You never know. So first we got Pick a Pine Tree by Patricia Tot. Just a cute little Christmas book that I've heard quite a lot of people talk about. Obviously it's not going to be Christmas for a while, but we have, every year we do a little Christmas book advent calendar for the small child. It used to include the big child, but she doesn't care anymore. And we read a different Christmas book every day, and it's fun. It's something extra to unwrap. It makes it more magic, whatever. So that will be going in the mix for this year. It looks really cute. I'm sold. Then we have Lizard in a Blizzard, which is just a phonics book. Don't know what it's about, but it's fairly simple language. He's learning to read. He's doing really well. So this is sort of the next step up on that. It's got words like machine and freezers and friends. They're all kind of harder whirl. So yeah, it's not all one-to-one like where you can sound it out, which is what we're working on at the minute. So that should be a good one. This is what I'll get him to read me on a bedtime. Love that. And then we have The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. No idea what this is about. It just looked old and charming. Don't know what year it's from. Does it tell me? Yeah, originally from 1986. So it just, I don't know. It felt nostalgic to me somehow, even though I've never read it in my life. And it's about a little old woman who's not afraid of anything. She seems to be being chased by clothes that don't have a person in them. I don't know. We'll read it. It's spooky. My youngest likes little spooky books, so it sounds good. Then for my teenager / me, we got The Illustrated Mum by Jacqueline Wilson. I read this when I was like 10 or something maybe, and adored it. It was one of my favourite books as a child. Contemplating doing a childhood favourites rereads video at some point. And either way, my daughter might read it, she might not, she probably won't. But again, we have a few other Jacqueline Wilson books upstairs as well, like Suitcase Kid and Double Act and Dustbin Baby, all ones that I read as a kid as well, but this was one of my favourites. So yeah, and then finally we have The Eve Illusion by Giovanna and Tom Fletcher. I read Eve of Man and I thought I owned it, I thought I'd kept it, but I must have unhauled it at some point. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's a YA dystopian, one of them. I enjoyed the first one. I can't remember that much about it now because it was several years ago. And I did own the hardback, and this I just thought would go nicely with it, and I plan to read it eventually, but yeah, that's it. That's my haul. It's been quite a long time since I've been to any little free libraries. I always enjoy them, even when I don't get anything. It's nice to just get out and be in the fresh air a little bit. Obviously I have to drive to the locations in the first place, which is not ideal, but it's fine. So yeah, it was a nice little morning. I've just made myself a bacon sandwich. I'm gonna go eat it, and yeah. Have you been to a little free library before? Do you have any recommendations of any in Yorkshire that are really good that I could go to? If you happen to live in Yorkshire, please tell me. I obviously didn't go to, well, it's not obvious, I didn't go to the one right around the corner from my ex's house because I just decided, let's practice some self-care. We don't need to put ourselves through that stress. Let's just live our lives. It's all good. So yeah, annoying though, because that is a really good one generally, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, that's it. Tiny little book haul, mostly not for me, but it's fine. I don't need more books. I have too many, as you will know if you watch my every book on my TBR video. Just plug my own content, why not? Okay, waffled on for long enough. Thank you for being here if you've watched all of this. Sorry that the actual like footage of the little free libraries is so minimal. I was so stressed filming in public. I hated it, but maybe I'll get better at it with time. Let me know if you'd like to see another one of these at some point. There are a few other areas around me that have some that I've never been to, so it could be fun to try them out. Maybe. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.